A billionaire's son once looked at his father and asked, "How do you make billions of dollars from trash?" "It's just garbage, ugly, useless stuff." The father leaned back in his chair, eyes reflecting decades of lessons learned in the trenches. "Listen closely, Leo," he said, "because the secret isn't in the trash. The secret is in the boredom." "In my first year," the father began, "I didn't sit in a leather chair. I sat in a rusted truck that smelled like rotten eggs and sour milk. At 4 a.m., while my friends were dreaming of fame and glory, I was lifting heavy metal bins. My back screamed. My hands bled. My clothes were ruined before the day even began. But the real struggle wasn't the work, it was pride. One day, a girl I liked from college saw me hanging off the back of a truck. She looked at me with pure pity and walked away. I wanted to quit. I wanted to do something cool, to earn respect. But I stayed. I stayed because I did the math. While she spent money chasing admiration, every bin I lifted earned me $20. That was $600 a week. Simple. Dirty. Guaranteed. By my third year, he continued, I had 3 trucks. But then came a corporate giant, a company with hundreds of vehicles, trying to crush me. They dropped prices so low I couldn't compete. I was losing $5,000 a month, 1 week from bankruptcy. I didn't hide in an office. I went door to door, telling every shop owner, "That giant company doesn't care about your alley. I live here. I'll wash it myself." In a boring business, loyalty is a shield. I worked 20 hours a day, doing the dirty work the big guys were too corporate to touch. I survived because I was willing to be more bored and work harder than anyone else. In the 7th year, he said, I wasn't lifting bins, but I faced something worse: permits, EPA regulations, legal contracts. Thousands of hours buried in paperwork that made my head ache. My competitors got bored. They wanted golf, tech stocks, excitement. They sold to me just to escape. I bought 3 of them for $1.5 million. A steal. I wasn't buying trucks. I was buying the exclusive right to the ground itself. Laws are like walls. Once you understand them, they protect your kingdom. By the 15th year, the father smiled. I owned every route in 3 states. To the world, I was just the trash guy. But while exciting businesses crashed from trends, mine grew steadily. Why? Because no matter what happens, wars, market crashes, inventions, people never stop throwing things away. The hardest struggle was distraction. I could have retired years ago, but I stayed. Bought more landfills, more trucks. I understood that a slow, boring stream can carve a canyon if it never stops flowing. He leaned closer to his son. "Son, you love drawing, right?" The son said, "Yes." The father said, "If you want wealth, you start there. Today you'll draw me and sell it for $5. Tomorrow, draw 2 strangers and sell them for $5 each. Then step outside this house. That's where you'll either stop or grow." Finding someone who believes in you enough to pay is the hardest part. If you talk to 100 people, find 5 who buy, you're luckier than most. That's the biggest ROI for the first day. Then some days you sell 2, some days 0. Small, random, until you understand what you're doing. You post for free. Go where your customers are. Stay there, asking, trying. 2 years will pass before anyone notices. Only then will you start raising your price. $5 to $10, $100, $1,000 for the same picture with the same talent. You increase your payment because you know how to sell yourself. You don't get there with a spark. You get there by refusing to leave the desk. But learning to build a great brand, selling, and selling yourself is the boring, hardest part, and that is where every single person struggles. The billionaire leaned back, eyes steady. Most people fail chasing sparks. Wealth is a slow-burning fire. I became a billionaire by being willing to be bored for 20 years while everyone else chased thrills. In business, the most boring path often has the least traffic, and the highest reward.